Part 3 in Exodus from Exile to Canaan. The God who waits while we wonder. There are moments in Scripture that do not merely tell a story, they hold up a mirror. Exodus 32 is one of those moments. Israel had been redeemed by power. They have walked through a sea on dry ground. They have eaten bread from heaven, and they have stood at the foot of a trembling mountain, while the voice of God thundered law and promise into existence. And yet, while Moses is still on the mountain, while the fire of God still burns above them, the people ask for another God. This is not a story about ignorance. It is a story about impatience. The silence that tests faith. Moses is gone longer than expected. Days pass, then weeks, and into that silence creeps anxiety. Where is Moses? Did he die? Has God forgotten us? Silence is where faith is refined, but it is also where idols are born. Because when God feels distant, the human heart reaches for something visible, something controllable, something familiar, and something immediate. So they gathered their gold, the very gold God gave them when they left Egypt, and they melted it into a calf. A God they can see, a God they can touch, and a God that does not require waiting. Notice the irony. They say, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." The calf did not part the sea, the calf did not send plagues, and the calf did not feed them manna. Yet when faith weakens, memory distorts. This is the danger of impatience. We forget who actually saved us. The golden calf is not just idolatry, it is a revisionist faith. They are not rejecting religion, they are replacing God. And that is the most dangerous form of idolatry, when we still use God's language, God's symbols, God's festivals, but worship something entirely different. The freedom without patience leads to false gods. Israel wanted freedom without waiting. They wanted salvation without surrender, presence without obedience, and blessing without trust. And so they created a God that demanded nothing but celebration. This is why Moses descends the mountain and breaks the tablets. The law was not broken on stone, it was already broken in the heart. Then came one of the most sobering moments in Scripture. Moses stands at the camp entrance and cries out, "Whoever is for the Lord, come to me." And the Levites stepped forward, not because they were perfect, but because they chose loyalty over popularity. They chose God over the crowd, truth over comfort, and obedience over approval. In moments of idolatry, neutrality disappears. There is always a line being drawn. The golden calf did not disappear with Israel. It changed shape. Today we create idols when God feels silent. We build them out of influence, entertainment, political power, spiritual personalities, church systems, personal ambition, and even theology itself. We do not call them gods, but we give them our trust, our loyalty, our hope, and our time. When prayer feels unanswered, we reach for distraction. When obedience feels costly, we reach for compromise. When waiting feels unbearable, we reach for substitutes. The golden calf is anything we turn to when trusting God feels too slow. And yet, here is the gospel thread woven into the ashes. God does not abandon Israel. He disciplines, yes. He confronts, yes. But He remains. He does not revoke His covenant, and He does not erase His promise. Because God knew something Israel did not yet understand. Failure does not cancel calling, but it does reveal where trust is still immature. Freedom without patience will always lead to false gods, but patience with God leads to something greater than gold. It leads to presence, to restoration, to deeper trust, and to a faith that can endure silence without replacing God. If God feels quiet right now, Do not build a substitute. Wait. The fire is still on the mountain. The covenant still stands. And the God who delivered you is not finished yet. Stay with us as we go into Exodus part 4, when fear delays destiny. God bless you.